overall is kind of the step before you're ready for employment. So it's kind of a classroom-based setting. I use that term loosely, but clients come in and you work on a lot of the soft skills. So things like eye contact, handling feelings, communication, that are gonna help you to get the job. And there's a music therapy side and there's a vocational side.
What I do is I bring in music experiences to engage group members in music making. That also requires them to practice job skills. So we'll do things like drumming, learning rhythms, imitating rhythms, to practice listening, following directions. We do a lot of songwriting to work on self-expression and organization of thought.
I'm in charge of the vocational side, so we do tasks that are kind of directly related to a job. So for instance, right now we're working on following through. So we'll do activities that directly relate to that. We did a puzzle yesterday where everyone had to draw their puzzle piece, and then it formed together to form a large puzzle. And we talked about how, if you hadn't drawn your correct puzzle piece, we wouldn't have had the full puzzle. And relating that back to a job where if you're at a grocery store and one person's stocking milk, one person's stocking bread, and one person's running register, if even one person doesn't do their job and there's no bread, and you come into the store and you want bread, you're probably not going to go back to that grocery store if there's no bread. So every person has to follow through with their responsibilities.
The Vocational Community Adjustment Program, as we call VCAP, actually is a program designed to teach kind of the soft skills that we all need when we're thinking about work. It doesn't necessarily focus on a job skill or a task that you have to do, but it's focusing on how to ask for help and how to interact with your coworkers and how to deal with the stress that a job or a job task can present to you. It really teaches individuals those strategies so that when they go to work, that they can learn how to deal with all of those issues in an appropriate manner.
We were recommended here by the case manager I'm working with. And she said, I recommend this program to help me learn strategies to negotiate communication and interaction in the workplace. And that's how I got started, and I've been with VCAP for a couple of months, and we've been working to find job placement.
I kind of was skeptical, I will admit that. I'm always skeptical about new stuff. Changes, it just isn't one of my many things that I like to adapt to, but at the same time, you have no choice. It's part of life. So when I realized that all the other things that I was doing wasn't really working out for me, and they had assured me VCAP will help you, especially when it comes to job training and all the stuff that got me in trouble in the past, they figured to put me there, so at least then I would have much more sense of direction and be better.
The person could have been able to be placed in a job, but then keep bouncing from one job to the next. And I think that would probably have been my situation. I would have kept bouncing through, and it's like, okay, we have no clue what is causing this difficulty. Living Unlimited basically said, okay, now that you know that you have this difficulty, we can give you the strategies and then you can apply them.
I think the ultimate goal is also kind of individualized for each person. For a lot of people, it's to get a job. It's also a community adjustment program as well. So we do have people that aren't interested in a job, they're more interested in just being a member of society.
A lot of times we'll come into the office and we'll do different activities to help with focus. So we might do a word search, which seems a little bit out of the box, but we're doing that word search to work on focus and also independence. And also we're asking for help. If you can't find the word, recognizing I'm not sure where this word is. With communication, I've drawn comic strips with individuals to show, how if you're talking to this person, this is the person who's going to ask the follow-up question. So making sure they're staying, on point with that.
Well, besides coming over to the job and helping me prepare for it, they did certain other activities that would help me. Favorite activity was probably the song stuff. Some of it, I forget. One of them we interpreted different songs, so that was cool.
It was easy to get the job, but it wasn't easy to keep it. The skills that I had, they weren't where they were supposed to be, and VCAP just made sure to enhance it to where it needs to be.
My clients inspire me, every day that I work with them, because, when you work with someone, you see all the little goals, and that's really cool to see. You may have a big goal in the end of employment, but sometimes that may take a year to get to, sometimes that may take 2 weeks. But seeing, every goal that person accomplishes.
If they've gone to a job interview and they didn't get the job, we still teach them that it's still an appropriate or a positive experience because they had an opportunity to talk to an employer and learn how to express themselves. So even when things don't end in the ultimate success, we actually learn from that. And when we actually do gain those successes, I think it becomes a much bigger event for them.
If you're able to find the time to work with them and have the ability to get access to the service, I would definitely recommend it as a good way to prepare their young person with special needs to integrate themselves into the workforce.